So I went to camp once, and I didn't like it. Hey guys, what's up? It's Zach, and I'm back today to review Sleepaway Camp. So Sleepaway Camp is written and directed by Robert Hiltzik, and it stars Felissa Rose and Jonathan Tiersten, and it was released in 1983. Slightly traumatized and painfully shy Angela Baker is sent to summer camp with her cousin. Not long after Angela's arrival, things go for a terrible turn for anybody that has sinister or less than honorable intentions. Man, it's really hard to break this movie down into certain categories just because it's one of those movies they have to watch and talk about as a whole. You can't like break it down, so I'm trying as hard as I can to break this down for you guys. So let me first state that this is a spoiler-free review. In this video, there are no spoilers, there's no talk of the ending, the kills, nothing. I am going to be posting a video soon about the ending and where I go on a more in-depth adventure of this movie and the hidden theories and messages of the film. So if you like that, go ahead and check that video out, which should be up shortly after you're done watching this. So here we go. As much as I hate to say it, I had not heard of this movie until the beginning of this year. Okay, that's a lie. I hadn't actually watched the movie until the beginning of this year. I heard about this movie first from a coworker of mine that is a huge horror movie fan, and she told me about it and how excited she was that it was going to be released on DVD. And 5 minutes after that conversation, it completely left my mind. So when I heard the news that Scream Factory was going to be releasing it on Blu-ray and DVD, and I saw the hype about it and how excited everybody was, I decided to check it out. So I watched this movie knowing nothing at all. I had no idea what it was about, I had no idea who was in it, I had no clue about anything about it. All I knew was that it was a small slasher film from the 80s. And oh my gosh, that is the worst way to describe this movie. I'm actually not really 100% sure how to describe this movie to you guys. I mean, is it like every other slasher film out there? Well, the acting isn't that great, the dialogue is cheesy as hell, and more than likely, you're going to be able to guess who is committing these murders. But honestly, that's exactly why I love this movie. Now obviously, since I'm only 19 years old, I was born in the mid-90s, so I didn't get to experience this movie when it first came out, back when it was scary. I just got to watch it when it was something fun to watch on a Friday night and laugh. So let's start off with the acting, shall we? The acting in this movie is cheesy. There is no way around that. And there are also one-liners in this movie that you cannot just help but laugh at for like 5 minutes. But I do have to give a lot of credit to Felissa Rose, who plays Angela in this movie. Since her character is really shy and she doesn't have that many lines, she has to carry on the movie with showing nothing but emotion in her face and her eyes, which is really difficult to do for some actors, but she did awesome. Jonathan Tiersten, who plays her cousin Ricky, is freaking awesome. I love this guy. He plays the protective cousin because Angela is picked on by a lot of the kids and counselors at the camp. More than likely, whenever someone picks on his cousin, the only thing he's going to do is yell at them and tell them off, which is really funny. It's a fun movie to watch on a Friday night with a group of friends, more specifically with a group of friends that have not seen this movie because you want to see their reaction to the ending. So are there some disturbing scenes in this movie? Yeah. There are some death scenes that are pretty gross that had me cringing. And the awesome thing about this movie is that the practical effects were awesome. CGI ruined practical effects. On to directing. So the camera is pretty much set on a tripod most of the movie. So the camera isn't moving at all, which is actually a pretty good thing because then it depends on the characters to bring out more of their acting skills and try and carry the movie from frame to frame. The last thing that I want to talk about this movie is the ending. Very briefly, I will say that you will not see this ending coming. I don't care what you say, no one's ever going to guess the ending to this. Sure, I was able to guess the ending to The Sixth Sense, but when it came to watching this, I tried, but I couldn't do it. So I freaking love this movie. This has become one of my favorite slasher movies of all time, and I have absolutely no idea why. Now, is this movie a masterpiece? No, far from it. But then again, what 80s slasher film is? Very few, right? So on my fantastic grading scale of 1 to 5, I am going to give this movie 5 out of 5. That's just for me though. If I was a non-horror fan that just stumbled across this movie in a video store and watched it, more than likely my score would be 3.5 out of 5. It wasn't a masterpiece, like I said, and there were some moments in the movie where it was kind of slow. For example, the baseball scene. And a lot of people are actually confused as to why this baseball scene drags on for like a good 5 minutes. And my answer to that is because the movie wants to give you a sense of what camp feels like. So get over it. So in the end, this movie is an awesome movie to watch with a group of friends, horror fans or not. And I know a lot of people are going to criticize me for this, but I personally would love to see a remake of this movie, as long as they keep the original ending, because if they take that ending out completely, then they're completely screwing over the fans of the original. So yeah, be sure to be on the lookout for any of my more upcoming reviews, which there should be quite a few more coming because it's summer. And if you have seen Sleepaway Camp and want some more in-depth thoughts on certain things of the film, then go ahead and head over to my spoiler review video, which, like I said, should be shortly up after this review is done. So if you guys enjoyed this review, then be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my upcoming videos.